Hello, welcome to the well, April 22nd, 2024, and happy Earth Day.
Mhm.
All right, let's take a moment to invite you all to get present to your gratitudes. What are you grateful for in this moment? Take a moment to just presence to that inside. And also just take a moment to use your breath as a clearing and just clear your week, your past week, past month, even your day up to this point. Just take a moment to use your breath as a clearing and anchor whatever you're grateful for. And let's go ahead and move into our inspiring reading.
Right. So we're taking the combination of Earth Day and spring, and it's a time of creation. And so the first card we have is womb, and this is the energetic space where the pure potential rests there.
Mm.
And at the moment, when a womb is empty, it's dark and vast and nothing going on, but the potential is always there, and all it takes is one move to start to the creation. And this is where we want to focus our energy on, is the unknown, the thing that you want to create, the idea you have, but it's not quite formed yet. You don't quite know how you're going to get there. That's what we want to focus on. We want to bring energy to that space within your beings in order to create. And then in honor of Earth Day, I got forest. So it's like the first plan of action here, as we're thinking of what we want to create, is to breathe into it, to get your inner alignment set, right? We tend to be top heavy or mind heavy when we're plotting and planning and trying to get something done, which is absolutely what makes us superhuman, right? Is that we have that ability. But if it's not rooted in or coming from a place of your inner alignment, then that could be cause for some disconnect along the way, or hitting a wall because your energy got to be too much with all the plots and plans, and then it's you hit a wall or a kink in the system, and then you feel lost again. So it's maintaining that alignment the whole way that we're aiming for. Then I got innocence. This is that old guy that knows it all, but he still will be willing to see the simplest thing, like a little grasshopper or insect, with awe, with fresh eyes, with wonder, as if he's never seen it before. And this is the space we want you to get into as you're creating your next step. And we're talking about focusing on the first thing or the next thing that you need to do, right? As you move on to this goal that you have, we're not thinking about the overall achievement. We're thinking about the path and each step along the way. So, so that helps, to keep your eyes fresh as to where you want to head next. And then I got Spirit Weaver. And this is the actual, look how beautiful that is, the art of manifesting and creating your life. But it's also reminding us to, sort of like the law of attraction, to believe, like, is your cup filled with a high vibrational, aspirational energy that's like, sure, anything's possible, I'm on my way to that? Or is it more of a dense, muddied, I can't make a move, no one's going to believe me, no one's going to like me? That's your decision. And that's what this Spirit Weaver card is reminding you of, is it will happen more easily if you believe it. If you believe it will happen. And I think, Maria, in the session you said, remove the word try. I loved that, because I'm going to try to do that. No, I'm going to do this.
Or I'm not.
And then whatever the result is, I will decide what direction to go next, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. Because when we say try, we are thinking of that end game. But we want to parse it down to what's in front of you now. That's where the more whole self progress will come. If you tone it down to this moment, what's my next step?
Mm-hmm.
which brings us to our next card, slowing down. Our
Mm-hmm.
favorite tortoise card,
Mm-hmm.
who knows he's heading toward that rainbow. He knows, and he'll get there. But right now, he's right here.
Mm-hmm.
In the next moment, he'll be right there, right? That's our energy that we want to bring energetically. I'm not talking about the actual steps that we take, but that's the energy you want to have behind it,
Mm-hmm.
because then you're more truly in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Green Man, talk about Earth Day.
I know,
and,
it's
and this
perfect.
is, the synergy, the how the earth has its own synergy, the plant life, the animal life, and everything keeps flowing. The
Mm-hmm.
circle of life, it keeps going in the way that it's designed. And
Mm-hmm.
that's being in the flow of what is. And
Mm-hmm.
we are being called here to be in that same continuous flow, and make that synergy alive between our persona, our ego self, and our inner being, and make them work together instead of it's a separate thing, right? Keep it aligned, bringing about some clarity. If we practice this, inside out sort of way
Mm-hmm.
to down our path,
Mm-hmm.
we especially if we're working in the present moment, we have more opportunity for some real clarity as to, oh, that's my next step.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do, not try. This is what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then see where it lands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then our final card for this spread is Song of the Wild. This is
Mm-hmm.
asking us to go beyond our limitations, or like we said earlier, our perceived limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the half the battle right there, is what we believe, right? We said earlier, if you believe it, you're going there.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is saying, basically step out of your comfort zone and go at it, go for it, take a wild step if
Mm-hmm.
that makes you feel more alive and closer to your goal. Take that wild step.
Yeah. And take a moment. I invite everyone to take a moment and tune into your heart, tune into your heart space. And what is that song that your heart wants to sing? What is that wild song that your heart wants to sing? Or that wild movement that your body wants to make?
Mhm.
Just tune in. And this reading is so beautiful, right? It's moving from the womb space and then forest and breath, emergence of innocence. I mean, it's just such a beautiful birthing process. And just invite everybody to feel into your heart center and imagine in that space, holding that space in your heart center, what song wants to be sung? What wild dream is there that wants to be birthed? Just take a moment and be with that. Use your breath to bring life to it. And start to let this kind of take form and percolate into your intention for this week as we go into the next part of the reading.
And I love how you mentioned, what movement do you want to make? Because
Mm-hmm.
that movement and song, like I
Mm-hmm.
heard someone on a podcast, a therapist, say that when she gets confused or in a place where she hums to herself,
Mm-hmm.
because that's her way of self-regulating. Because when you're humming or you're singing along with a tune or moving your body,
Mm-hmm.
there's not much room for all those thoughts. That's
Mm-hmm.
really bringing you into presence.
Well,
And I love
it
that.
it also literally tunes your vagus nerve. The humming and the vibration, it tunes our vagus nerve. Like, think about it, right? Like a mother innately hums, or a parent, not just a mother, but innately hums to their infant, their child. And that is attunement. That's forming that attachment bonding experience. So the humming, it's like humming to your inner child, your inner parts, and it creates um that vibration, right? That stimulates, that activates, that generates the flow that the vagus nerve gives us access to.
That is your regulation. That helps your heart center.
Yeah,
Helps your everything. Yeah, I love
tone is everything. And also the movement. I personally have been doing authentic movement myself, like in the mornings and in the evenings. And it's so nourishing and it's so centering and so grounding. And it also cultivates that vagus nerve, that flow. for the
Yeah.
vagus nerve, right? To generate that state. So
Love it. Okay. We paused for the second half of the reading already because I started talking before. I'm ready for this.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, let's move into
I
it.
got really into that flow.
Yeah, you're feeling it. Well, today's Earth Day, so we're feeling it.
Feeling it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next set starts out with this card, the gladioli, the gladiolus flower, and it
Mm-hmm.
says, set boundaries well to ensure good growth.
Mm-hmm.
I like this because I feel, well, first of all, it comes right over the womb card.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that protective space. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is not setting a boundary to push anyone away.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to contain your own energy and make sure that's always protected. And, you know, coming over the womb card, that's your center of creativity. That's your center of the creation and your life and how you move through it,
Mm-hmm.
emotional connection to it. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is a reminder to keep that protected in
Mm-hmm.
a loving way.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps with that inner alignment that we talked about. And then I got Vision Quest.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's another calling to expand your creativity and your thoughts and the directions you may go. But at the same time, it's asking you to go on a vision quest within as well, sort of withdraw and reimagine. Maybe from the Song of the Wild card,
Mm-hmm.
you moved out of your comfort zone and you made progress. Then it's time to balance it out and pull back in and think, okay, let me consider my next step,
Mm-hmm.
right? Instead of that one after another trudge toward the goal
Mm-hmm.
energy,
Super
it's
linear.
super linear. It's allowing you to keep retaining and maintaining your alignment as you move so that you're moving toward your goal or toward your creation um, in the most authentic way you can.
Mm-hmm.
So a reminder to sort of reimagine, see the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got make a mission statement for your soul.
Mm.
I love that.
Me
That's like,
too.
we think of mission statements as this is what I want to achieve this is my public, declaration of what my
Mm-hmm.
business represents. But what does your soul represent, right? Like Maria was saying, what song is your soul singing?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're clear on
Mm-hmm.
that. And you could even write it down and remind yourself,
Well, vision boards are so great for that.
so good for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
For
soul
the
collage work.
soul. Yeah. So, and then after, we got this reading is a lot of um, imagining, getting out there and doing it, and then pulling back in and then doing like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's a lot of that. And it
Ebbing
feels
and
kind of
flowing.
zigzaggy. And it might feel like
Like a
it's
push pull.
counterintuitive
Mm-hmm.
or counterproductive, but it
Mm-hmm.
is like I know because I used to be that one that just beeline toward the goal, but then I would end
Mm-hmm.
up exhausted
Mm-hmm.
and thinking, what was the whole purpose? And oh,
Mm-hmm.
great, like I can't even remember the last 2 weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this back and forth, this realigning your energy is a much more way to stay in the flow. But of course, I got moment to moment. So this is our reminder to make sure we're present and clear from the inside out on what our next step is. No need to take a quick step forward, into the river there
Mm-hmm.
before that next boulder is ready for us. There's no need,
Mm-hmm.
And then I got tracker. And
Mm-hmm.
this is sort of a singular mindset. Once you've created that mission statement for your soul or, gone through your vision quest and I know what my next step will be, that is it. We don't, and we're hyper focused like a tracker in the woods on that next clue, on that next thing, instead of, oh, how am I going to get, where is this going to end up? It's like, what is right in front of me? And that's the focus that we want it. We want it to be pulled in and, sort of singularly focused on the steps at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got patience.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like this reading's going, go, stop, go. but it is really just, this one is more an overall knowing that it's coming, that you're on your way, that you're well in the middle of your journey. And with each step and the focus on each step and making sure it's aligned, that's your recipe for your best outcome. And knowing that helps you to be able to rest and be present in each moment. This whole thing brings us to our next card. The whole process of creating and envisioning and then making sure it's aligned with us, all of that energy has a healing effect on us. It gets us more into the pure flow of our own life. We mix up what our life is compared to what others are doing, compared to what is expected of us from our authority figures or our, friends and people we trust. But it's all gets a little bit clouded if we lose track of what's inside of us. And that's the purpose. That's the reason we're taking the next move, not because someone says so. That has a healing effect on your soul as well, and your persona. Like maybe you're someone who has a higher level of worries in your mind, and they keep coming. And what if I don't? What if I do? And this practice of pulling into the present moment and aligning the vision quest, all of this practice helps to quiet those thoughts a little bit. And that has a healing effect, because maybe with enough practice, you're less of a worrier, right? And then our final card, after having started at the womb, is rebirth. And here we are now, fresh in our new phase of our journey, and ready to start with, with a fresh new energy and a fresh new outlook.
Beautiful. Perfect reading for Earth Day. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I encourage everyone to set your intentions and have a beautiful week.